Hey everyone, welcome to Meeple Bits. Thanks for joining me for this setup and how-to for the game Chai. Chai is a game for 1 to 5 players with a playtime of 30 to 60 minutes. Yes, there is a solo mode. No, we are not going to tackle the solo mode in this video. So if you would like to see that solo mode, please comment down below and I'll try to get one up for you. Now, keep in mind also, as we go through this how-to, some of the components might look different than your game. One, we are going to use the playmat during setup to help us keep everything organized. And two, this is the deluxe copy of the game, so some of the components might look different than your copy. But with that, let's go ahead and dive right into the setup for Chai. Chai is a game played over the course of 5 rounds, with each player taking one action on their turn, and the player at the end of the 5th round with the most victory points is the winner. So let's go ahead and jump into that setup.
To begin setup, have all players select a tea house or player board in the color of their choosing. Then have each player pick up all 6 of the tea leaves that correspond to their color. You can place them on the left side of the board in the tea bag for each player. Then take the customer cards that correspond with that player color, handing them to each player. Once complete, each player should then select one card of their choosing from this hand and place it face up in front of them. Once all players have selected the card face up in front of them, each player should then play one card into the customer pool in the center of the table. Then, once all players have selected a card for themselves and the player pool, combine all cards together, shuffling them, making sure that any colors not used or not in this deck, draw an additional 2 cards face up into the customer pool, and then create a draw pile to the left of the customer pool. So the customer pool available should be equal to the number of players plus 2. In this 2-player game, we have 4 cards in the customer pool. If it were, say, a 3-player game, we would have another card out there contributed by that player. Next, fill the tea bag with the tea flavors. These are the square tiles that will be filled into the bag with a square icon on them. So once all tiles have been placed into this bag, shuffle them and then randomly fill the top row, middle row, and bottom row of the market. All remaining tiles should remain in the bag off to the side for drawing later. Next, fill the pantry board. It looks like a circle tray. Take all the ingredients, placing them into the draw bag with the circle, and place one of each type of ingredient around the play area for the pantry. Unlike the market where you randomly select, here when setting up the pantry, you're going to specifically set up one of each type. Then take the ability cards, 8 of them. They are numbered in the lower right-hand corner. They also have a purplish red back versus the customer cards that have more of an orange back or teacup. Take the 8 cards, creating a draw deck, and select 3 abilities and place them into the center of the play area. Next, take the tip jars and place them at the top, 1 for each player in the game. So in this 2-player game, we'll use 2 tip jars. Additionally, take the tip tokens, creating a draw pile off to the side, and select 1 face down and place it in front of each tip jar. And lastly, organize the money pouch. Take the money pouch board, placing it into the play area, and take the 1, 2, and 3 coins, organizing them on this money pouch board. Then, take the starting marker, the thermometer, choosing either Celsius or Fahrenheit, placing the clip at the bottommost number available, and keep this off to the side for the round tracker. Then, decide who's going to go first. That first player should receive the starting token, 1 coin from the money pouch, and then all other players, in this 2-player game, the other player will receive 2 coins, but in any other play count, all other players will receive 2 coins.
On a player's turn, you may do one of 3 actions: visit the market, visit the pantry, or reserve a customer and use an ability. And at the end of your turn, you can fulfill 1 customer order. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at those actions, starting with visit the market.
The first available action that a player may select on their turn is visit the market. So if a player wants to visit the market, simply declare as such, starting by taking a 3 coin or any denomination of 3 that they choose. And on their turn, when selecting visit the market, they must spend at least 1 coin in the market. When spending in the market, any tiles taken from this first row will cost 1 coin. From these next 2 rows or columns, 2 coins. And from these 3 columns, 3 coins. When taking tiles, when taking these flavors, you're going to take all horizontal and vertical connected tiles of the same type. So example, if I were to want to take this ginger, I would be able to take all 3 of these ginger tiles into my pantry, paying the most available touching cost, which is 2 coins. So I will take my 3 coins and take my 1 change. Sliding down all available tiles to the left. Then a player may continue to spend as much as they want as long as they have money. So it's a good idea to try to combo this together as best as possible to get the most for the least. So now I could spend 1 coin to take in these 2 lavender. Once a player is completed buying in the market, then all tiles should be filled from the draw bag, starting with the top row from left to right, and then working your way down. So what that looks like on your board is taking the ingredients and filling in any available pantry slot. A player may hold no more than 12 flavors on their player board or in their tea house. If they have any more than, so if they were to draw from the market and have greater than 12, they would need to discard down to the maximum number. Another action a player may choose on their turn is to visit the pantry. When selecting this as your action, a player may take a total of 3 ingredients from the pantry, either from the pantry board or randomly from the draw bag in any combination. So a player may say take a milk, a chai spice, and then a random out of the bag. For me, vanilla. Taking these tokens into their tea house or player board. Once complete, refill any empty spaces randomly from the draw bag. So from this point forward, after the initial setup where everything was unique, it will be random. So what that'll look like on your player board, once you take the items from the pantry, you're going to put them in the bottom available spaces in your tea house. A player may hold no more than 6 ingredients in their tea house. Should you select more than 6 ingredients, you must immediately discard any of your choosing down to the maximum number. And the last action a player may take on their turn is to reserve from the player pool and complete an ability. We're not going to cover all the abilities in this video, so please make sure to refer to the instruction manual that will have them all, and the cards are numbered on the lower right to indicate which one of these to review. So on a player's turn, a player may either take from the available pool or take from the draw pile on the top of the deck. Additionally, if they choose, they may activate any one of these abilities. So let's say the player were to take into their hand this card as an example, they would put it into their play area, into the draw area face up next to the other card. A player may have no more than 3 of these customer cards in their possession. Additionally, a player may not discard a card that they have reserved. They must fulfill the customer's order. Once you've taken a card, replace that customer in the customer pool. Then you may optionally activate an ability. So let's say the player wanted to choose this one, which is to grab any item from the pantry for free. So I'll go ahead and take one item from the pantry, putting it into my tea house. Once a player has selected which action they'd like to take on their turn of the 3 available, they may lastly, after they've completed that action, fulfill one customer order. This customer order may be done either from their hand or from any face-up cards in the customer pool. So let's say this blue player wanted to fulfill this customer's order, worth 7 victory points, requiring a chai spice, which I do have, a vanilla spice, and a lavender flavor. If this card were black or any other color tea type, then I would be required to purchase a tea token from the other player. Since it's blue, I can use one of my own. Every customer's order will require one of these tea leaf tokens. So once these tea leaf tokens are gone, no other customer orders in that color may be fulfilled. But in addition, if I were to need another customer's tea leaf, I would have to pay them 1 coin for that tea leaf. The sale of this tea leaf may not be refused by the other player, so if it's available, it can be taken. Once a customer's order has been fulfilled, take all the ingredients, including the tea leaf, selecting an available tip cup at the top of the board, dropping in your tokens, and then flipping over the available tip, taking that amount from the money bag into your supply. Keeping in mind that on a player's turn, they may only fulfill one customer order. So play will continue until all tip tokens have been flipped, which will then end the round. To begin the next round of play, start by taking the first player token, passing it to the player in clockwise order to the left of the player that ended the round. So whichever player flipped that final tip token over, the player to their left would start the next round. Then remove the first column of flavors, moving everything to the left and refilling them from the bag. Next, the new first player should take the top card of the abilities deck, replacing any one of the 3 available abilities on the board. Select new tips in front of each cup. Play will continue for 5 rounds, and at the end of the 5th round, whichever player flips the last one triggers the end game. If that player started the round, then all players should get an equal amount of turns, and other players may continue to fulfill orders, but they will not receive any tip tokens. Then, the player with the most victory points is the winner. For endgame scoring, take all completed orders only, adding up the total amount of victory points available. Any incomplete orders do not count negatively, but they will not go towards your score. Then, count any additional money that's still left in your possession, adding that to your score. So here, this player would have a total of 29 victory points. This player having a total of 24. If there is a tie between the players, the player who completed the least amount of orders would be the tiebreaker. If they've completed the same amount, all players share in the victory. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I'm going to go ahead and tear down the table, and stay tuned while I bring you my afterthoughts.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that setup and how-to for the game Chai. So with that, let's go ahead and dive right into my afterthoughts, starting with components. This one's a little bit tricky because it is a deluxe version of the game, and the components really are that, deluxe. From the teacups that are really nice, the beautiful linen finish on the big, large cards, the dual layer board for the market, the metal coins. Probably the biggest oversight though, and I cannot for the life of me understand the decision, which is the market tiles are this, the square tiles for the market are this amazing acrylic, thick, beautiful, gorgeous pieces, and then the pantry are still punchboard in the deluxe copy. Amazing acrylic market, punchboard pantry. I didn't understand the decision there, and I do know though that in their other Kickstarter, Chai Tea for 2, they did have an add-on which was to upgrade the pantry of Chai to acrylic tokens. So I just don't know why they weren't able to do that in this deluxe version. But that's probably my biggest gripe for the components, is that, well, it's a pretty shitty choice to make because that's the one massive oversight of what you did with a deluxe version. So hey, that aside, why should you want to add Chai into your collection? Primary reason is because, well, as you saw, it plays a lot like Splendor. And that's not a bad thing. Splendor is an incredible game, and I really enjoyed playing it. And I was really happy to get Chai into the collection. And look, it's simple to play. You're doing that one action on your turn, and the player that amasses the most points at the end of the round versus an end victory point condition, not a bad thing. So all the lines that can be drawn from Chai into Splendor are done so welcomingly. So I was happy with how closely they could be connected. And there's so many other games in the different genres, Engine Builders being one of them. A couple of my favorite games, Terraforming Mars, Wingspan, Gizmos, all of them play, again, very similar like an engine builder. So you might think that Chai is just a reskin of Splendor, and you wouldn't be totally off base, but it's still a wicked fun game because it's very easy to get into, pretty quick and easy to set up, easy to explain, and a lot of fun and engaging, and the artwork is gorgeous. Why would you maybe not want to add Chai into your collection? Well, maybe you're tired of Splendor and you don't want another Splendor-esque game. But number 2 is the rulebook. I have to admit, the rulebook is poorly written, poorly laid out, poorly set up. I had to go to third-party areas for some clarification on a couple of the rules that I didn't feel were explicit enough. So as easy as the game is to play, they didn't do a great job of putting the rulebook together. So it's kind of conflicting in that sense. Another reason why you may not want to add it to your game or into your collection though is, maybe you just got the standard version and it's a whole lot of punchboard at a massive cost. So the cost of the deluxe version I feel is almost worth it. The cost of the base game without any upgraded components, less so. Because it's not like it comes with the playmat, it's not like it comes with upgraded anything really, and for the base cost, I think it's too much. So just cost-wise, unless you're going to get the base game on sale, I'd say ultimately wait. For the deluxe version, if you are still waiting for your copy, it took mine a while to get here, finally did arrive, so just be patient, and I'm sure the team will eventually get them out. But that's going to do it, I guess, for this one. I really enjoy Chai a lot, and I know that on my Gen Con video, I made some bold claims that it might have been my game of the year last year in 2021. I didn't have a chance to get it to the table at all in 2021, obviously, but it still plays really fun, but game of the year for me, no. But that doesn't mean that it still is not a game that I recommend that you add into your collection. So that'll do it for this one, though. If you have any questions about Chai, please leave a comment down below, or I welcome your thoughts on this game as well. If you've enjoyed the video and you like the content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I really do appreciate the support. And as always, everyone, until next time, thank you so much for watching.